Hello everyone, welcome to a new session on Informatics and Introduction to Bioinformatics. Overview of Information Technology Part 4, Operating Systems. The operating system is the most important program that runs on a computer. Operating systems perform basic tasks such as recognizing input from the keyboard, sending output to the display screen, keeping track of files and directories on the disk, and controlling peripheral devices such as disk drives and printers. An operating system is a program that acts as an intermediary between a user of a computer and the computer hardware. The purpose of an operating system is to provide an environment in which a user can execute programs. Operating systems are there from the very first computer generation. A computer system can be divided roughly into 4 components: the hardware, the operating system, the applications programs, and the users. A more common definition is that the operating system is the one program running at all times on the computer, usually called the kernel, with all else being applications programs. You've probably heard the phrase boot your computer, but do you know what that means? Booting is a process that occurs when you press the power button to turn your computer on. During this process, the computer does several things. It runs tests to make sure everything is working correctly. It checks for new hardware. It then starts up the operating system. Once the operating system has started up, it manages all of the software and hardware on the computer. Most of the time, there are many different programs running at the same time, and they all need to access your computer's central processing unit or CPU, memory, and storage. Operating system types. Following are few of the important types of operating systems which are most commonly used. Batch operating system. The users of batch operating system do not interact with the computer directly. Each user prepares his job on an offline device like punch cards and submits it to the computer operator. To speed up processing, jobs with similar needs are batched together and run as a group. Thus, the programmers left their programs with the operator. The operator then sorts programs into batches with similar requirements. The problems with batch systems are lack of interaction between the user and job. CPU is often idle because the speeds of the mechanical input-output devices is slower than CPU and difficult to provide the desired priority. For example, batch processing is a way that credit card companies process billing. The customer does not receive a bill for each separate credit card purchase, but one monthly bill for all of that month's purchases. The bill is created through batch processing, where all of the data are collected and held until the bill is processed as a batch at the end of the billing cycle. Batch processing is also often used to perform various operations with digital images such as resize, convert, watermark, or otherwise edit image files. It may also be used for converting computer files from one format to another. For example, a batch job may convert proprietary and legacy files to common standard formats for end user queries and display. Time sharing operating systems. Time sharing is a technique which enables many people located at various terminals to use a particular computer system at the same time. Time sharing or multitasking is a logical extension of multiprogramming. Processor's time, which is shared among multiple users simultaneously, is termed as time sharing. Multiple jobs are executed by the CPU by switching between them, but the switches occur so frequently. Thus, the user can receive an immediate response. It will provide advantage of quick response. It can avoid duplication of software and also reduce CPU idle time. Disadvantages of time sharing operating systems are question of security and integrity of user programs and data. It also causes the problem of data communication. For example, a mainframe computer that has many users logged onto it. Each user uses the resources of the mainframe, that is, memory, CPU, etc. The users feel that they are exclusive user of the CPU, even though this is not possible with one CPU that is shared among different users. The following operating systems are best examples for time sharing systems: Multics, Unix. Distributed operating system. Distributed systems use multiple central processors to serve multiple real-time application and multiple users. Data processing jobs are distributed among the processors accordingly to which one can perform each job most efficiently. The processors communicate with one another through various communication lines such as high-speed buses or telephone lines. These are referred as loosely coupled systems or distributed systems. Locus and Micros are the best examples of distributed operating systems. Using Locus operating system, it was possible to access local and distant files in uniform manner. This feature enabled a user to log on any node of the network and to utilize the resources in a network without the reference of his or her location. Micros provided sharing of resources in an automatic manner. The jobs were assigned to different nodes of the whole system to balance the load on different nodes. Network operating system. Network operating system runs on a server and provides server the capability to manage data, users, groups, security, applications and other networking functions. The primary purpose of the network operating system is to allow shared file and printer access among multiple computers in a network, typically a local area network or LAN, and a private network or to other networks. Examples of network operating systems are Microsoft Windows Server 2003, Microsoft Windows Server 2008, Unix, Linux, Mac's Operating System X, Novell NetWare and BSD. Real-time operating system. Real-time system is defined as a data processing system in which the time interval required to process and respond to inputs is so small that it controls the environment. Real-time processing is always online, whereas online system need not be real-time. The time taken by the system to respond to an input and display of required updated information is termed as response time. So, in this method, response time is very less as compared to the online processing. As a user, you normally interact with the operating system through a set of commands. For example, the DOS operating system contains commands such as copy and rename for copying files and changing the names of files respectively. The commands are accepted and executed by a part of the operating system called the command processor or command line interpreter. Graphical user interfaces allow you to enter commands by pointing and clicking at objects that appear on the screen. An early example of a large-scale real-time operating system was Transaction Processing Facility developed by American Airlines and IBM for the Sabre airline reservation system. Currently, the best known, most widely developed real-time operating systems are QNX, RT Linux, VxWorks, Windows CE. Microsoft makes the Windows operating system used in many computers. The operating system is a set of instructions that tells your computer how to run and how to manage the different programs that you install. There are several versions of Windows currently in use, including Windows 95, Windows 98, Windows XP, Windows Vista and Windows 7. The newest version of the Windows operating system is called Windows 8. They include from most recent to the oldest. Windows 8. Windows 8 is a version of Microsoft Windows, which is an operating system developed by Microsoft for use on personal computers including home and business desktops, laptops, tablets and home theater PCs. Development of Windows 8 started before the release of its predecessor Windows 7 in 2009. It was announced at the CES 2011 and followed by the release of 3 pre-release versions from September 2011 to May 2012. The operating system was released to manufacturing on August 1, 2012 and was released for general availability on October 26, 2012. Windows 8 introduces significant changes to the operating system's platform, primarily focused towards improving its user experience on mobile devices such as tablets to better compete with other mobile operating systems like Android and Apple's iOS. It features a new touch user interface and shell based on Microsoft's Metro design language, featuring a new start screen with a grid of dynamically updating tiles that represent applications. The start screen replaces the start menu of earlier Windows versions. There is a new application platform with an emphasis on touch screen input and the new Windows Store to obtain and or purchase applications to run on the operating system. Windows 7. Windows 7 is an operating system produced by Microsoft for use on personal computers including home and business desktops, laptops, netbooks, tablet PCs and media center PCs. It was released to manufacturing on July 22, 2009 and became generally available for retail worldwide on October 22, 2009, less than 3 years after the release of its predecessor Windows Vista. Windows 7 Server counterpart Windows Server 2008 R2 was released at the same time. Windows 7 is succeeded by Windows 8. Windows Vista. Windows Vista is an operating system. It was released by the Microsoft Corporation in late 2006, which comes in several versions such as Home Basic, Home Premium, Business, Ultimate and Enterprise. The features available to you depend on the version of Windows Vista you have. It Enterprise for large global organizations and is only available to organizations with desktops covered by software assurance agreements or organizations with the Microsoft Enterprise Agreement that includes the Windows desktop component. The release of Windows Vista came more than 5 years after the introduction of its predecessor, Windows XP, the longest time span between the successive releases of Microsoft Windows desktop operating systems. Windows XP Professional Edition is a version used by many business on workstations. It has the ability to become a member of a corporate domain. Windows XP Home Edition. This is a low-cost version of Windows XP which is for home use only and should not be used at a business. Windows 2000. A better version of the Windows NT operating system which works well both at home and as a workstation at business. It includes technologies which allow hardware to be automatically detected and other enhancements over Windows NT. Windows ME, an upgraded version from Windows 98, but it has been historically plagued with programming errors which may be frustrating for home users. Windows 98. Windows 98 was produced in 2 main versions. The first Windows 98 version was plagued with programming errors, but the Windows 98 second edition, which came out later, was much better with many errors resolved. Windows NT, a version of Windows made specifically for businesses offering better control over workstation capabilities to help network administrators. Windows 95, the first version of Windows after the older Windows 3.x versions, offering a better interface and better library functions for programs. There are other worthwhile types of operating systems not made by Microsoft. The greatest problem with these operating systems lies in the fact that not as many application programs are written for them. However, if you can get the type of application programs you are looking for, one of the systems listed below may be a good choice. Unix, a system that has been around for many years and it is very stable. It is primarily used to be a server rather than a workstation and should not be used by anyone who does not understand the system. It can be difficult to learn. Unix must normally run on a computer made by the same company that produces the software. Linux. Linux is similar to Unix in operation, but it is free. It also should not be used by anyone who does not understand the system, and it can be difficult to learn. Apple Macintosh. Most recent versions are based on Unix, but it has a good graphical interface, so it is both stable and easy to learn. One drawback to the system is that it can only be run on Apple produced hardware. Major application software. Application software consists of programs that direct computers to perform specific information processing activities for end users. These programs are called application packages because they direct the processing required for a particular use or application which users want to accomplish. Thousands of application packages are available because there are thousands of different jobs end users want computers to do. Application software includes a variety of programs that can be subdivided into general purpose and application specific categories. General purpose application programs. General purpose application packages are programs that perform common information processing jobs for end users. For example, word processing programs, electronic spreadsheet programs, database management programs, graphics programs, communication programs, and integrated packages are popular with microcomputer users for home, education, business, scientific, and many other general purposes. They are also known as productivity packages because they significantly increase the productivity of end users. This packaged software is also called off-the-shelf software packages because these products are packaged and available for sale. Many features are common to most packaged programs. Application specific software. Many application programs are available to support specific applications of end users. Business application programs. Programs that accomplish the information processing tasks of important business functions or industry requirements. Scientific application programs. Programs that perform information processing tasks for the natural, physical, social and behavioral sciences, engineering and all other areas involved in scientific research, experimentation and development. There are so many other application areas such as education, music, art, medicine, etc. Application programs are written in a text-based computer language. Once written, they are compiled into a binary language the computer understands. The application programs use function calls to interface to the various computer peripherals such as your keyboard, mouse, screen, printers and other devices. Popular application software. Application software utilizes the capacities of a computer directly for a dedicated task. Application software is able to manipulate text, numbers and graphics. It can be in the form of software focused on a certain single task like word processing, spreadsheet or playing of audio and video files. Here we look at the application software types along with some examples of application software of each type. Different types of application software. Word processing software. This software enables users to create and edit documents. The most popular examples of this type of software are MS Word, WordPad and Notepad among other text editors. Database software. Database is a structured collection of data. A computer database relies on database software to organize data and enable database users to perform database operations. Database software allows users to store and retrieve data from databases. Examples are Oracle, MS Access, etc. Spreadsheet software. Excel, Lotus 123 and Apple numbers are some example of spreadsheet software. Spreadsheet software that allows users to perform calculations using spreadsheets. They simulate paper worksheets by displaying multiple cells that make up a grid. Multimedia software. They allow users to create and play audio and video files. They are capable of playing media files, audio converters, audio players, burners, video encoders and decoders are some forms of multimedia software. Examples of this type of software include Real Player and Media Player. Presentation software. The software that is used to display information in the form of a slideshow is known as presentation software. This type of software includes three functions, namely editing that allows insertion and formatting of text, methods to include graphics in the text, and a functionality of executing slideshows. Microsoft PowerPoint is the best example of presentation software. Enterprise software. It deals with the needs of organization processes and data flow. Customer relationship management or the financial processes in an organization are carried out with the help of enterprise software. Information worker software. Individual projects within a department and individual needs of creation and management of information are handled by information worker software. Documentation tools, resource management tools and personal management systems fall under the category of this type of application software. Educational software. It has the capabilities of running tests and tracking progress. It also has the capabilities of collaborative software. It is often used in teaching and self-learning. Dictionaries like Britannica and Encarta, mathematical software like MATLAB and others like Google Earth and NASA Whirlwind are some of the well-known names in this category. Simulation software. Simulation software is used to simulate physical or abstract systems. Simulation software finds applications in both research and entertainment. Flight simulators and scientific simulators are examples of simulation software. Content access software. It is used to access content without editing. Common examples of content access software are web browsers and media players. Application suites. An application suite is an important type of application software. It consists of a group of applications combined to perform related functions. OpenOffice and Microsoft Office are the best examples of this type of application software. These application suites, as you know, come as bundles of applications like word processors, spreadsheets, presentation software, etc. Applications in the suite can work together or operate on each other's files. Let us now summarize what we have learned in this session. A computer is a set of resources for the movement, storage and processing of data. The operating system is responsible for managing these resources. An operating system is a program that acts as an interface between the user and the computer hardware and controls the execution of all kinds of programs. It can perform a single operation and also multiple operations at a time. So, there are many types of operating systems. Those are organized by using their working techniques. 4 major categories of operating systems are batch, time sharing, distributed, network and real-time operating systems. Software can be roughly divided into 2 groups, application software and system software. Application software is all the computer software that causes a computer to perform useful tasks beyond the running of the computer itself. It can be in the form of software focused on a certain single task like word processing, spreadsheet or playing of audio and video files. Here are a few questions for you to work out. 1. What are the key ingredients of an operating system? 2. Explain operating system and importance. 3. Discuss multiprocessing system. 4. Explain real-time system. 5. Compare freely available operating systems than commercial one. The following are some books and websites for your reference. Operating System Concepts 8th edition by Peter B. Galvin, Abraham Silbersash, Gag, Wiley Publication 2009. Modern Operating Systems 3rd edition by Andrew S. Tannenbaum, PHI Learning 2009. Operating System Principles 7th edition, Abraham Silbersash, Greg Gang, Peter Galvin, Wiley Publication 2006. The Design of the Unix Operating System 1st edition, Morris J. Bash, PHI Learning 2012. The Complete Reference 6th edition, Richard Peterson, Tata McGraw-Hill Education 2007. The following are some of websites for your reference: www.guideofcomputer.blogspot.in, www.webopedia.com, www.kb.iu.edu. Thank you for watching this session. Let's meet in the next session. Until then, bye.